It's 6:43 on Daybreak, and now to the story of a Cold War leftover sitting for decades beneath the dormitories at a campus many Western New Yorkers are familiar with.
Yeah, a little place that I called home for in the late 80s, but it was in the early 60s that President Kennedy initiated the Community Fallout Shelter Program, and Governor Rockefeller passed a statewide civil defense bill that actually hid shelters in public buildings across the state. I just didn't realize one was beneath my very feet. As we find out in this morning's Unknown Story of Western New York, a lot of it was just rediscovered at the college at Brockport. It was a story that certainly caught my attention.
I think when you love your school, you love learning about your school.
We always say it, history's all around us, and that is certainly true here at the college at Brockport, my alma mater. But one thing I didn't realize when I lived in that dorm building for 2 years is that I was literally sleeping on top of a Cold War time capsule.
Not too many people know about it, but Bendob, McFarland used to be bomb shelters during the Cold War.
Benedict, Dobson, and McFarland halls, 3 dormitories that had fallout shelters built beneath them, complete with 16-inch rebar-enforced concrete walls, 1,500-gallon water tanks, and 2 bathrooms. Well, sort of. They were forgotten about until a facilities worker brought a tin of these survival crackers to someone in administration.
And we simply just wanted to see them. We were like, we should try these crackers. They're very old. And so the first person that we were put in contact with from facilities and planning said, yeah, there's lots of crackers down there.
By 1964, companies like Keebler and Nabisco produced enough crackers to feed 50 million people with a potential shelf life of centuries. And I know you're going to ask, what do they taste like? Well, we're going to find out together. Not very good, but not the worst thing I've eaten here at Brockport. And that wasn't all. There were also boxes of medical supplies, although most of the supplies and cots were removed years ago after flooding issues.
That was a shock to me when I heard out that Brockport could have been on the Soviets' hit list.
Researchers thought Rochester was a potential target because of its manufacturing and defense industries, like Kodak, which produced a satellite camera that had been used to spy on the Soviets. And now, this dusty crawl space, recently rediscovered, along with these blueprints, stand as a living classroom for today's students about how close we came to the Cold War really heating up.
It is a time capsule, and it surprised what they expected people to live on back then.
And I reached out to Buff State and UB to see if they had similar facilities that maybe just time capsules waiting to be rediscovered. Didn't hear back from UB, but Michael Canfield at Buff State said that he understands that Caudale Hall on campus did have a shelter built beneath it, but any evidence of that was cleared out years ago. And don't worry, Lauren.
Oh, I was going to ask.
I brought you a snack.
All right, I'll be taking a...
Well, we'll open these up later.
Bit, yeah.
We'll put some on social. We can try these. These are actually older than I am, these crackers.
You're making them sound more appetizing by the minute, Pete.
But
and don't worry.
they're meant to hold up for centuries.